Welcome to Soul Stories, where every tale touches the heart, inspires the mind, and stays with the soul. Aliya stood behind the counter of Raman's bakery, a tiny shop squeezed between two large clothing stores on a noisy street. The warm smell of fresh bread and vanilla frosting usually brought her comfort, but tonight it reminded her of how long the day had been. Her feet ached, her back burned, and her eyes stung from lack of sleep. This was her third double shift of the week, but she kept a gentle smile on her face. She needed the job, no matter how tired she was. Just as she started, wiping the counter to close up, the bell above the door jingled softly. A man stepped inside, and tired and dressed in clothes that had clearly seen better days. His slippers were dusty, his beard untrimmed, and his eyes carried a mix of embarrassment and desperation. He approached the counter slowly, holding a few crumpled, almost torn notes in his shaking hands. For a moment, he just stood there, looking down, as if gathering courage. Then he leaned slightly forward and whispered, almost apologetically, "Baji koi expired cake miljega. It's my daughter's birthday today. I can't afford a new one." Aliya's breath caught an expired cake. She had heard people bargain before, even argue, but never this. She looked at the man again, really looked. The exhaustion in his eyes, the way his fingers tightened around the money, and the tiny flicker of hope he tried to hide. This wasn't someone looking for a discount. This was a father trying to make his little girl smile with whatever he could. "Manage. Expired cakes humlog. Thank Tate," she said softly, scanning the shelves. There was nothing old, nothing damaged, nothing she could offer for free. But the thought of that little girl sitting somewhere in a dim house, waiting for a birthday celebration that might never happen, it broke something inside her. Without hesitating, Aliya opened the register and pulled out some of her own hard-earned money. She walked to the display, picked the prettiest small cacao simple vanilla sponge with pink frosting, and placed it in a box. "Ya Liji, fresh high, apni bedi, ko kena birthday mubarak." The man froze. His eyes glistened and his lips trembled. He looked at the cake, then at Aliya, unable to speak. Finally he whispered, "Allahop cheo kushrak," before pressing the cake to his chest as if it was something priceless. Aliya watched him leave, unaware that this one act of quiet kindness was about to change her life forever. The next morning, Aliya woke up to the usual sounds of her old apartment building: water running through rusted pipes, children arguing over school bags, and the upstairs neighbor dragging furniture for reasons only he understood. She tied her dupatta and stepped into the small kitchen, still thinking about the man from last night. She hoped his daughter had smiled just once because of that cake. But before she could pour herself tea, a deep unfamiliar roar of engines filled the narrow street outside. It was too loud, too heavy for the usual motorcycles or delivery vans in the area. Curious, she walked to the window. Her heart nearly stopped. 3 black SUVs, polished enough to reflect the entire street, rolled to a halt in front of her building. Their tinted windows made them look even more intimidating. One by one, men in suits stepped out, tall, serious, and alert. They scanned the surroundings like security officers from a political convoy. Within seconds, her neighbors transformed into silent spectators. Curtains lifted, windows opened a crack, heads peeked out cautiously. People whispered, "Kon aya hai." Kisi ko ores carne. Ala care. Aliya felt her stomach twist. Did something happen at the bakery? Did she unknowingly break a law? Was someone pretending to be poor last night? Dozens of questions raced through her mind. Her pulse quickened. She wiped her palms on her dupatta, unsure whether to hide or walk outside. Then the door of the middle SUV opened. A man stepped out. He was tall, dressed in an expensive suit that contrasted sharply with the shabby buildings around him. His presence was calm but commanding, like someone used to authority, used to people noticing him. But what made Aliya's breath catch was not his appearance, it was what he held in his hand. A cake box, the same brand, the same ribbon. Same size as the cake she had given away last night. Her mind went blank for a moment. Why would a wealthy man, clearly someone with power and status, be carrying that cake? Had something gone wrong with the man she helped? Did he complain? Did he fall sick? Was this about that expired cake request? The suited man looked up toward her building, as if he knew exactly where she lived. His eyes searched until they found her standing at the window, and he smiled. Not a threatening smile, but a knowing one. Like he was here for a reason only he understood. Aliya stepped back, her heart pounding harder than ever. Whatever was happening. It was far bigger than she had imagined. The tall man's smile was steady, almost disarming, as he approached Aliya's building with the cake box still in his hand. His guards stayed behind, maintaining a respectful distance, watching the street with trained eyes. Aliya stood frozen, near her doorway, trying to gather enough courage to step outside. Her heart thudded against her ribcage. each beat filled with fear and confusion. Asterisk when the man finally reached her floor. He paused, giving her space. Asterisk Miss Aliya, he asked politely. She nodded, throat dry. He extended the cake box slightly. I believe this will explain why I'm here. Aliya stared at it. The same cake, the same box, the same kindness she gave away with her own money. Asterisk, he continued, his tone warm, almost gentle. You helped my brother yesterday. Asterisk, the words hit her like a wave. Asterisk, your brother, she repeated. Stunned. Asterisk, he nodded. Yes, the man who asked for an expired cake. Asterisk, Aliya's eyes widened. She remembered his tired clothes, trembling hands, and the shame in his voice. I didn't know, I just felt he needed help. Asterisk, that, the man said softly, is exactly why I'm here. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. My brother has had a hard life. He works day and night, but fate hasn't been kind. He refuses to take money from me even though I can provide him anything. He doesn't want pity, only dignity. He paused, his expression full of gratitude. But yesterday, I gave him something none of my wealth could buy. Respect. Asterisk, Aliya felt her chest tighten. I didn't do anything big, sir. It was just a cake. He shook his head firmly. No, you treated him like a human being. Do you know how rare that is? Most people looked at his clothes and turned away. But you, he pointed gently at her. Not accusingly, but admiringly. You saw his heart before you saw his appearance. From his coat pocket, he pulled out a white envelope and offered it to her. Aliya hesitated. Sir, if this is money, I can't. Asterisk, it's not payment. He interrupted softly. It's gratitude. Asterisk with trembling fingers. She opened the envelope. Inside lay 2 keys attached to a branded keychain and a neatly folded letter. She unfolded the letter and gasped. A new apartment, fully paid for 6 months. Asterisk, a job offer at one of his companies, better pay few hours. Real security. Her eyes filled with tears. Sir, I don't deserve all this. He smiled, placing a hand over his heart. You deserve more than you think. The world needs people like you, Aliya. Asterisk, for the first time in a long time, Aliya felt something she had lost. Asterisk, hope. Asterisk, Aliya's hands trembled as she held the keys and the letter. Her mind struggled to understand how a single moment of kindness could lead to something so life-changing. Asterisk, sir, I never expected, she stammered. Asterisk, he gently raised his hand, stopping her. Asterisk, no, he said softly. Don't lessen what you did. Kindness is rare when we see it. He smiled, a warm, genuine smile that softened his otherwise commanding presence. We protect it. Asterisk, Aliya felt her eyes burn with unshed tears. She had spent years working long shifts, living paycheck to paycheck, sacrificing sleep and comfort just to survive. And yet, this was the first time someone had looked at her and seen real value in her actions. Asterisk. The man handed her a business card. Asterisk, come to this address tomorrow. Your new journey starts there. Asterisk, then, without drama or pride, he added, my brother and his daughter wanted to thank you too, but I asked them to rest. They've had enough hardship. Asterisk, before she could respond, he stepped back, nodded respectfully, and returned to the SUV. The engine started, and within seconds a convoy disappeared from the street as quickly as it had arrived. Months passed. Aliya's life changed more than she had ever imagined. She moved into her new apartment, modest but clean place where the taps worked, the walls didn't crumble, and the nights felt safe. The job she joined at the Millionaire's company was steady, respectful, and paid more in a month than she used to earn in 3. Asterisk, her colleagues treated her with the same warmth she had shown others. Asterisk, her stress faded, her confidence returned, and she began to dream again, something she hadn't done in years. Asterisk, every so often, she visited the bakery where she once worked, not because she needed to, but because it reminded her of where her life had changed, and why. But one tradition stayed with her. Asterisk, every year, on the same date, she went to that little bakery. She chose a beautiful cake, sometimes chocolate, sometimes vanilla, sometimes strawberry. She wrote a small note. Asterisk, happy birthday, little one. She never signed her name. She simply had the shop delivered to the little girl, the child whose birthday wish had unknowingly rewritten her future. Asterisk, Aliya never expected gratitude, recognition, or thanks. For her it was a silent promise. Asterisk, if kindness changed her life once, she would pass it on again and again. And the millionaire, he never forgot that day either. In a world full of judgment and indifference, he remembered the moment someone treated his struggling brother not like a burden, but like a human being with dignity. And for him, that simple act meant more than all the wealth he owned.